Yes, you are. You sure are. Thank you, TM. Well, it's been a week. Lots of activities and things to do. 34 mail check. Thank you very much for that. Good to see you here. It was pretty hot yesterday here, but today it's all drizzling and cloudy and possibly rain soon, if not now. Alejandro says, Hi Mehran, good afternoon or good morning. At the gym trying to look good for me and the ladies. Ah, good. Good motivation. Yeah, I had a good workout too last night, and it was good. I would have liked to have slept a little bit more today, but I had to get up. There are things to do, and after this, there's still appointments to be held, and so. But it feels good to have a good workout. So I'm glad you're at the gym. TM says it's been warm here as well. Global warming. Yes, yes, yes. I guess so. I guess so, for sure. It's pretty cozy here today. It looks one of those days that you want to make some tea and, I don't know, watch a movie or something. One of those things. Or a nice swim would be good, because still the outdoor pools are warm. So I guess I've been advised to make the announcements of what this channel is and what we do here at every beginning of every videos. So I guess that's a good time for that. So here we are discussing matters of life, uh, specifically breakups, relationships, emotional hardships, and why we feel the way we do by understanding and focusing on more knowledge about our psyche, the role of our thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego in how we act and react in our daily events, and how we negotiate through this journey of life. We have over 1,500 videos on this channel. Pretty much anything you can think of after your breakup. If you key in on the search engine of my channel, there are bound to be a bunch of videos about it. Now, pretty much anything. And if you needed more individual support, you can always go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment to chat with me and explore what concerns you on Skype one-on-one. Of course, there are other support um, alternatives on my site available, such as sending me an email, which is the least expensive kind of getting some questions answered. But those are not detailed conversations or detailed emails. It's short questions and so on. You can also reach me on not Walmart. It's called Callmart. Callmart, a company out of Tokyo which connects people who have or could share some opinion about things that you might have in your mind. Go on Callmart and look for Mind That Seeks Truth. And if the light is green, that means I'm available. And if you have an account there, then you'll click it and my cell rings and you can talk about something that you might find it something you want to talk about and not wait to make an appointment on Skype. Having said that, let's go on and see if you have any questions. I'll be with you for the next hour or so and try to answer as many questions as I can. Everywhere you see says hello Mehran, hello dear. And Peter, Adrienne, Burkuta says, wow, Mehran is still alive. Well, didn't you want me to be? Strange how just by thinking about you, I just stumbled on another live show. Strange, very strange. Well, I welcome the opportunity for every one of you to participate in these live talks, and we can share some views and opinions. I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. We are here to explore what may be of your concern, may be on your mind, in relation to my studies, my research, and my personal life experiences. And if you have any pressing medical issues, you should always talk to your doctor, psychologist, and whatnot, as I have no medical credentials. Having said that, let's go to Dicanio35. Says, hi Mehran, Rob from UK. We spoke recently. Oh, Rob. So you have a different screen name, Dicanio. Where'd you get that name? Says, great to see you. Been a tough couple of days, but I'm getting through it with your advice and videos. I am delighted that you understand that these things may seem to be tough at the time that you're really focused on it. But remember how wonderfully and surprisingly, when you're having fun and you're focusing on something that you're enjoying, gives you pleasure, like watching a movie and you're totally submerged into the movie, suddenly you realize, oh, I haven't been thinking about this breakup. I haven't been bothered. I haven't been sad. I've been happy. What does that mean? That means you're perfectly capable of being happy. The only time that it causes you the way you feel is when you think about it. So really, there is nothing wrong with your life. It's just a matter of you thinking about it or not thinking about it. So which means you're perfectly capable of having a happy life. It's just the fact of understanding you don't have to think about it. Life can go on. There are other wonderful things in life that if you focus on and spend your time with it, you can see that you don't even care, because it happens that when you're having fun with your friends, outing or movie or something, you weren't thinking about it, so you weren't feeling bad at all. That should tell you something, that hey, the reason I feel this way because I constantly think about it, because I give it importance. But it really is not important, because I can easily substitute it and I can easily be involved in other aspects of life. And when I don't think about it, when I'm fully submerged to those aspects, nothing bothers me. Which means that's the way it should be, and that's the way it could be, and that's the way it will be. But in the meantime, you may constantly fall back on it because of what we talked about. The elements of pleasure, that we all miss that pleasure. We all miss the fact that, oh, I'm not chosen, or I'm not affirmed, or I'm not important, and we're all conditioned to feel important in our lives. All of that is what makes you feel the way you do. But in reality, there is nothing wrong. It's only because our thoughts, we feel what we think. I don't know if you guys are following me on Instagram. I have about maybe 99 posts on Instagram, and every one of those posts are pretty heavy, pretty deep. At least it will give you something to ponder on. I suggest, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, please do. Mind Seeks. Mind Seeks. That's my Instagram name. And if you simply go check it out, you'll find many sort of thoughtful or pondering, worthy of pondering posts on Instagram. And it could be inspirational to some of you at some point. And Mac says, salut, bonjour, bonjour monsieur, comment ça va aujourd'hui? And we now go to TM, says, the girl I have been dating, excuse me, Taylor's chamomile from UK. Taylor's organic chamomile of Harrogate. Wonderful tea. I love it. It's probably one of the best chamomile teas that I've had. And so, TM says the girl I have been dating been on 4 dates. You've been on 4 dates with this new girl. Still, she's not sure if she feels chemistry, but wants to continue seeing each other. Gave her a cheeky kiss, which she'd not mind. Yeah, okay. She's obviously feels good about the way you treat her. Probably she feels respected, she feels safe, and these are all good and signs of a gentlemanly behavior with a lady. And pretty much that's how it starts. When you make the woman feel safe and that she's not under any pressure to offer anything other than sharing views and conversation, so she feels comfortable and not feel like she owes you anything because you're taking her out or paying for the dinner. You got to make a woman feel comfortable that it's a equally privileged moment for both of you, not that you're doing her a favor or she's doing you a favor. Just be there, enjoy human relationships, and then from there things that you might have in common might present itself, and then you guys will ride on that wave. So don't try to push it, or don't try to be too funny or too entertaining. Don't make her feel like she's the anomaly or she's the princess and she has to be entertained, but don't make her feel like she owes you anything or make her uncomfortable. Just be there, pleasant and cordial, and let's see how things will evolve. And Tim, hello Tim. I lost him. Where is it? Okay. There it is. Tim says, hi Mehran, greetings from Germany. Greetings, guten Tag. Wie geht's? And Tim says, Mehran, how to deal with low energy, low motivation from time to time. I'm very active and motivated the last months, but sometimes the lingering and just think kicks in, stays the way for sometimes 1, maybe 2 days until I get myself back up in action again. Would like to change that. Need to go for my goals, but sometimes I stuck. Make me nervous because I fear that the sticking could keep longer one time. Like you think that when you feel this way, and usually 1 or 2 days, then you're back up and about, but you're fearful that sometime it may come and not go after 1 or 2 days. It could be longer. And says, would like to change that, need to go for my goals, and so on. Make me nervous because I fear that the sticking could keep longer at one time, as it was often in my past. Any advice? Always remember the fact that these low moods have come in the past, but they have always gone away. So create that hope in your mind based on facts. So you know that the hope that you're relying on is not a hoax, it's based on facts. Because in the past, every time these feelings came, after a day or two, it went away. And now say, I'm gonna focus on making it shorter if they ever come. And then always try to remind yourself of the blessings of your life. How bad it was and how wonderful it is. So if it was bad and if it's good now, it can always then have the same travel path of becoming better. Because if it was bad and it's now better, that means it has the propensity and quality of becoming further better. That's a new word, by the way, further better. So that will give you that assurance that you're looking for, rather than hindrance in your thoughts of suspicion of would it go away or not. Because we will always feel and doubt, because our brain is set to doubt. Our brain is not by nature hopeful. Its job is to look for trouble. And when it doesn't find trouble, it creates trouble, so we will be alert. And so we will make sure no trouble will come our way. So we doubt things. Even if things are going well, we doubt it, and that has a different reason. The different reason is that I love it so much, now I'm afraid if I lose it. That's how fears, one of the ways that fear infiltrates into our brain. Something that we really love, we're now afraid losing it. And it usually, transient thoughts usually attacks you where you're strongest. That means where you love the most. What you love the most, that's what transient thoughts attacks you with. If you love the way your life is, it attacks you, bring a suspicion to your mind that what if the way that you love your life will not continue to be the way you love it. Things change. You lose your job. You're like, these are the negative thoughts that comes along because it attacks you. Transient thoughts attacks you where you most proud of, where you most loving of that part. Some people even get transient thoughts about their own sexuality, their own thoughts, because they're so happy about whatever their gender is. They're so good about it. They're so happy about it that they're fearful of not being what they actually are, and they're glad that they are. These are all transient thoughts. You should not buy into them. Same thing with hope. When you're happy in your life, suddenly the reason that you become depressed is because of the fear of what if I'm not as happy as I am today, tomorrow? Which it hasn't happened, and you will be happy tomorrow too. There's no evidence of it being otherwise. But it creates that fear because that's how brain works, unfortunately. And we've been conditioned all our lives to be afraid of losing something, because everything in our life has been conditional. You do this, you get this. You don't do this, you'll be punished. And all these things in one way or another. So don't buy into the thought. Focus on the facts, and most important, focus on the fact that you command it this way. You want to be happy. You will be happy. You are doing everything to make you happy, and you will not allow anything interfere it. Therefore, you are stronger than the fear that is trying to put you off of your game. So just as transient thoughts comes in and introduces a negative thought to you, you counter it with a positive thought and say, listen, what are the chances of this negative thought be true? The same as less than the chances that my positive thoughts will come through. Why? Because with the positive thoughts, I also will command it, I also will support it, I also will take action to make it positive. But with the negative thoughts, I'm against it. Therefore, negative thoughts has a less chance to become reality than my positive intentions and thoughts. When you focus on that, you'll say, well, really all these thoughts that are negative don't have a chance because I don't want it to be. And I am the master, not my thoughts. I choose with thought I entertain and let it take action, and take action for it to make it to become a reality, on which ones I don't. In this thinking, you feel that you're in command, not your thoughts. Thoughts are stupid. They're not you. They don't have your best interest in mind. You do. So the collective of you, your center, is the boss. And all these fears and thoughts and ego and desires that when they come, it is ultimately you who will decide which one of them act upon and which one ignore. You're the boss. So thoughts won't really have any power, whether they're transit or anything else, unless you approve it. So don't approve the negative thoughts, don't approve the negative moods, and say, I feel it, but I don't want it. What can I do to counter it? Okay, I'll go to the gym. I'll go do some exercise. I'll go do this. I read this. I make tea. Whatever it is, you bring yourself out with hopefulness based on facts of the past and how things have evolved, and based on what you wish it to be. Change your stars. Your thoughts cannot dictate to you how to feel. While they try to, you bring a different thoughts. Introduce a different thought, which will give you a different emotion, which is different than the one that the negative thoughts are trying to encourage for you to have that emotion. That's how you deal with it. And have plans for your life. Take steps toward those plans. So you're too busy to pay attention to stupid thoughts, which brings low mood. Having said that, it's okay even a rhinoceros has low days. Sits there somewhere for a day or half an hour or two, and sulks. And then we get back up and do our thing. So don't let it scare you if you feel depressed. Don't think that's going to be over. No, it's okay. It's downtime. All right, fine. I'm going to enjoy my depression. I'm just going to have tea and watch a movie and just feel sorry about myself, and then, okay, refreshed. Life goes on, must go on. I hope that is something to chew on. Tim. All right, let's go to Somyadip Sankey. Says, sir, it's her birthday. I wish her she didn't respond at all. I guess I told you don't wish her anything. Or didn't I? I will never text or call her again. Well, you shouldn't have it either. Move on. Don't waste your time on people who don't pay attention to you. If someone doesn't pay attention to you, does not deserve to have your attention. Simple. No hard feelings. Give and take. You don't give me attention, I don't give you attention. I don't need you to survive. You know, universe, nature, God, whatever you call it, has given me oxygen, something to drink, something to eat, sleep, be safe. I don't need you to survive. You're just something that I would have liked to get to know. Pleasure from a relationship. But you don't want to offer it? Well, then it's no good. If you're not offering it, I don't feel comfortable to take it. Therefore, you go on your way, I go on my way. Simple. Don't make a big deal out of it. No woman or man that anyone is interested in is the end all be all. It's not the summation of experience of life. It's just one fragment of those experiences. When you want to think of them as they're your gods, is because we're all conditioned to look for pleasure, because pleasure makes us forget about all the shortcomings we have in life, all the miseries that we might be facing, all the fears that we might be afraid of, and through pleasure we forget about all our responsibilities, all the things we have to do, and all the incomplete stuff that we haven't complete in life. We kind of forget. We escape to pleasure. We run to pleasure to escape from the knowings of what we haven't or we should accomplish and we haven't done, so on and so forth. So it's escape. And through pleasure, we simply try to get away from our responsibilities. But if you face your responsibilities, accomplish what you want to accomplish, you're not really that so hung up on that certain pleasure that is not being offered to you anymore. When you have taken your responsibilities seriously and you have all your ducks in a row, you're not really so gung ho or missing your ex, because ex, beside other things of emotional and personal relationship and all that, is a representation of a pleasure that makes you be happy, and through that forget about all the things that makes you unhappy. But when you have created your life in a disciplined way, which you don't have things hanging out to and not have attended to them, then you don't have a reason to be unhappy. So you don't necessarily need your ex to make you feel happy. You're already happy. And on that note, you'll just be reasonable. Okay, she doesn't want to be with me, that's okay, go. I'm happy. There's so many people are in the market to buy happy, and I'm happy. They want me because I've taken care of my life. So focus on your life. Make your life be disciplined and organized. Then suddenly you see that you're not missing your ex that much anymore. Take care of yourself in the gym, exercise, eat good, do your job, do your studies, make yourself feel confident that you have accomplished the things you set out to accomplish. And then from that, you will see, I don't necessarily need a pleasure to escape to from the things I haven't accomplished in my life. I feel good. So if she doesn't want to be with me, that's too bad, but I'll survive. I'm okay. Because I really don't need her to cover up the things that I haven't accomplished in life that makes me unhappy. I would need her if she wants to be with me. Then you will have more confidence in you by just having done those things that specifically addresses your life and preparation for your future. Guys, make sure you like the live talk if you like it, and make sure any video that you watch, please like it and make a comment. Any comment about the content of the video, that you liked it and you think this way, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Any comment will help us to be recognized by the algorithm of YouTube a little bit better. For example, once this is uploaded, just make a comment. Did you enjoy the live talk or not? That's it. Simple. Yes, I liked it. And if you have any other topic that you want to talk about that I can make a video of, write it as a comment. Not now, once it's uploaded. All right. Let's go to he says, I have deleted the pictures, texts, and messages, though we are not in relationship, but I was stalking and trying. Well, don't stalk anyone. All right. Dallas 24M, I went from backward. B. David. Hello, David. Mail 24 Dallas. Good to see you. Juanpa. Pura vida, Juanpa. Mail 23 Costa Rica. Pura vida, Mehran. He says, hope you are excellent today. I'm not sure. I am excellency, maybe, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Tim says, oh yeah, we did talk to Tim. Juanpa says, Mehran, on Monday, I'll have a job interview. Aha! This is a job for a bilingual engineer, so the entire interview will be in English. As you know, my native language is Spanish, but I do speak English fluently. The thing is that in job interview, I get nervous when I have to talk in English. So my voice breaks a little and then I can speak normally. It just at the beginning. And is there any question in there? So sometimes he says I auto-sabotage myself with that. How could I start the interview being confident in English? This is a job that I really want, and I know I do not have to compare myself with others. But in job, you gotta be better than the other applicants. Really? Let me give you a new perspective. You think the other applicants are your competitors, but in fact, they are worried about you because you are their competitor. You gotta think of yourself as this way. You're the top dog and everybody else is following you. Not that, oh, I gotta follow them, they're my competitors. No, you're just as a competitor as they are for you, if not better. Why? Because your English is perfect. There was nothing wrong with what I read here. There's nothing you should worry about when you talk about anything in English. And I tell you one little trick, that if you get nervous, you can always rely on that and brings a smile to your face and you'll relax. The person that is interviewing you wears his pants one leg at a time, just as you do. Or if it's a lady, she puts her clothes on piece at a time, just like any other woman or any other person does. So that doesn't make them any god or anything. They still got to go to the bathroom and they still got to eat. That doesn't make him any different than you. They happen to be in a position that they're trying to look for an asset, someone who helps them to make their company a better entity. In other words, you got to look at it this way. You are there to help them succeed. It's not that you're there hoping that they will do you a favor. You're not there for them to do a favor. You're a specialist in something. That's why they gave you the interview. If they didn't think you're good enough, they wouldn't even ask you to come in. So you got to think that you are the man with the ticket in your hand for the vehicle that they need to get on to get their corporation to the second level, to the next level. So you're a very important person. You should have all the confidence in the world to be there. And speaking in English in maybe a little bit of a downtime, broken or this and that, nervous, doesn't make any difference. Focus on what you're saying. Don't focus on speaking English. Focus on exchanging ideas. Focus on communicating with them. The English will come. It's not a teacher, English teacher, sitting there to grade you. He's there to you focus on what he's saying and what you want to respond. That's all. The English part comes automatically. Don't try to impress them with your English. Try to impress them with what you're saying. Focus on what it is that they're saying. Does it make sense to you? How are you going to solve that? How are you going to respond to that? Okay, they ask you your name. Well, my name is this. That's all you think. You don't think about, how do I say it in English? No, this is my name. You speak English fluently. Don't worry about it. And if you got nervous at any time, just imagine them sitting in front of you naked. Just quickly, that whole godly persona that you've made out of them will crumble down, because you're not looking at them as who they are. You're looking at their clothes, the desk, the room, the position, the company. I am here giving you a job. No. Just take the clothes off. And just imagine they're in their underwear. And therefore, of course, if it's a man, if it's a woman, don't imagine that. just imagine that she's just a regular lady that you're just talking to, I don't know, on a bus station. Not that she has this echelon of having your life in her hand. There's no such thing. And if this job didn't work out, there's other jobs. Don't make it to become too important. It's important, and you're going to do your best, and you'll have no problem getting that job, because you're just good at what you do, you speak a good English, and you're qualified. Simple. Don't worry about impressing them. Just be there, exchange ideas, and converse with them. That's all. There was a time that I was the MC of my university's annual international fair. I think there were about over 2,000 parents in the auditorium, in the gymnasium, and we had the stage. And I was a freshman, but I had beat the senior guy from being an MC all the past years, and they wanted to choose me. But because he was senior, they gave it to both of us. So kind of half and half type thing. I would go on stage and do some of the interactions, and then he would go, and then I would go. So, and there were 2,000 people, and I was taught that if I felt nervous, if I just imagine all the audience in their underwear and not with all these hooplas and, you know, bells and whistles and suits and all that, I would relax. And sure I did. I was very relaxed, and I was actually laughing because they weren't that important anymore, because they were not impressing me, because they were just looked normal human beings, not represented by their clothings and their postures and sitting and, you know, the eyebrow up and down, or, you know, frowning or not. None of that. I simply imagined them as normal human beings, and everything was on the level, equal. So you can use that if it comes to that. And you'll just laugh and you say, well, they're not that important that I made them to be. So I'm important and I'm equal. I'll do what I gotta do. I hope that's helpful to you. Sandy! I lost Sandy. Where did you go? Sandy says, hello, Mehran. Are you well? Thank you, Sandy. I'm good. Good to see you. Sandy says, I have been to the beach today. It's yeah, that's right. It's nighttime over there now. And your pebble story came to mind. I have learned so much from you. Thank you. My pleasure. I'm delighted that you feel good and you're enjoying it, enjoying the channel, and also remember things that you have watched and reshared. Sandy says, I'm enjoying Nouveau chamomile tea. It has quite a hint of lemon. Nice. Well, I haven't found a better herbal tea, the pomegranate and the one that you sent for me. It's just was an amazing tea. And now I'm trying the Taylor's of Harrogate. Taylor's of Harrogate organic chamomile infusion. It's called. And it's a very good chamomile tea. Nouveau. I've heard of Nouveau. It's not this one, is it? No. Psyche says, sir, how to understand that girl is looking for a gentle partner or looking for a rough man for sexual pleasure? If the girl opts for temporary pleasure, I don't know, just ask her. Sometimes it's not like it doesn't have to be a mystery. You have a relationship with someone, you ask each other what you like, what you don't like. That's it. Tim says, like the video, guys. Oh yeah, that's right. Guys, like the video. And TM says, thank you, Mehran. You're welcome. And Tim says, yeah, right. Thank you. True. I got it. I'm going for it so bad, and I'm really happy. Good. And then doubt kicks in. Yes, but leaves more and more quick. That's right. That's good. Yes, that's what you should rely on. Good for you. That's so true. Okay, good. And Rob says, the name I have on here is an old nickname from a long time ago. Long story. Okay. And Tim says, just taking the thoughts of paralysis too serious and choose to change and go on. Got it, yes. So true. Getting better and better with that. But brings a little fear always. Again, yeah, because we're all submerged into fear all our lives. There's fear of losing my job. There's fear of not enough clients. There's fear of how do I pay rent. The fear of what the neighbor says about me. The fear of if this contract I write is legal or something I'm missing in it. The fear of not having money. The fear of not having a girlfriend. The fear of whatever your situation is, not having a boyfriend. The fear of if I'll be healthy. The fear of will a truck hit me. A fear of there are all kinds of fear. If you allow it, the fears are endless. But if it hasn't happened, why am I creating something that hasn't happened? And for that, it means let me be focused on the actuality of life rather than fearing of something that hasn't even happened yet, and it may never happen. But in order to prepare myself, I go in and create some fear that might happen in the future, and then I come back from the future in my mind to the present, and I try to resolve it and solve it and come up with solution for something that hasn't happened, may never happen, but I conjured it up. And because I cannot apply these solutions that I come up for the illusory problems that I created in my mind in the future, because I don't have a chance to implement those solutions to that illusory problem, then I keep thinking that the problem is not solved because I can't implement the solutions. And when I can't implement solutions, even when I think of the solutions of the illusory problems that I created, but I can't implement them, then I think, well, the problem still exists because I couldn't implement it. And why doesn't it exist? Because it's never happened. It hasn't happened. Possibly in the future, it may never happen. So I'm trying to solve something that has never happened, may never happen in the future, now, and I can't because I have the solution. There is no reality to the problem for me to apply the solution. So I keep going on and on and on and on, thinking that the problem still exists. That illusory problem, I keep letting it go on and I keep chasing it to solve it, but I have no chance to solve it because it hasn't happened. It has no actuality and reality for me to apply an actual solution, therefore I chase it. And that's why transient thoughts constantly goes on. And instead, if you focus on the fact that these are thoughts, have no actuality, thoughts are stupid, and this is the way our brain is trying to protect us, and I should not pay attention to it until it becomes an actuality. I take steps to prevent something from going wrong, but that's all I can do. The rest of it, I will be focused on the now, focus on the actuality of life, and be involved with the efforts that I should be making to accomplish what it is that I've set out to accomplish for what's in front of me, and that will take my mind off of that illusory stuff nonsense and focus it on the reality and actuality. And if God forbid something happens, then I'll see what I can do with it. But at this moment, this very moment in the time and space, nothing is happening for me to be bothered about. Only my thoughts, and my thoughts have no reality. Thoughts try to replace actuality, but just because they intend to replace actuality does not make them to be actuality. You should remember that. Thoughts are stupid. Don't pay attention to them. Most of them are nonsense. Now, let's go on to welcome, Tim. Marios says, hi, Mehran, male 37, South America, is it? Yeah, SA? That should be South America, right? Is it? Or South Africa? South America is just, it doesn't have an abbreviation. It's South Africa, right? All right. Chris Crawford says, hi, Mehran. 28, male, UK. Hello, Chris. Nice to watch your stream while I eat my dinner. Haha, okay. So I'm a dinner entertainer, right? Positive vibes to everyone. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. And everywhere you see says, I see her every day because we are in the same class. Lately, though, she seems depressed. I still care deeply about her. Should I say something? Ah, don't babysit someone who doesn't want to be with you. If she's depressed, well, she got to deal with it. She's not with you. What are you gonna? What if you were depressed? Do you think she would come and say, "Hey, how are you?" Well, I don't mind if you just simply say, "Hey, you look in thoughts. Hope all is well with you." Well, I'm here anyhow. If you wanted to talk, that's it. That you express you're satisfied yourself that you still care about her, because you think it's a sin if you don't care about her. Why? Because you want something from her. What? A relationship. You want to get back with her. Otherwise, if you didn't know her and you had moved on, and if you had a new girlfriend, would you still be concerned as much as you are now? Probably not. So understand what your motivations are, and don't work yourself into a corner by paying attention to try to help someone that you feel needs you, but if she really doesn't. She's got her own resources to deal with whatever it is, and you're not her boyfriend or brother or daddy to be concerned about something that you really want to be concerned about, to show that you have feelings for her, that she would feel like, oh, okay, you know, he's so nice. No. Be honest with yourself. You really care? Go say, well, I hope you're good. I'm here if you want to talk. That's it. But don't make a big deal out of it. Christian says, male 27, Philadelphia. Is it a good idea to ever reach out to an ex? No. Either to tell her I miss her? No. I want her back? No. Or just to say hi? No. Next. Marius Stratum. You gotta focus, Christian, why you want to say these things to her. It's not because anything other than the fact that you want to be with her. And that's already decided. She's moved on. She broke up with you. That's the answer is already given. And you go after it. It's like a shadow. You follow the shadow. You never get to it. The more you go after it, the more it will go away, pretty much. So consider that closed and move on with your life. Find other girls. You're only 27-year-old, so young and so many opportunities available to you. Why do you think she was the only girl in life that would appreciate you? Move on. Who doesn't appreciate you doesn't deserve your attention. Simple. Marius says, wife asked for divorce in December. I moved out. 8 months later, and divorce finished. On same day finished, she told me she's seeing someone else and going to introduce him to the kids. Oh yeah, we talked about it last time, I believe. 3 and 6 year old, yes. And today I found out the new guy is our neighbor from 7 years ago. Yeah, well. Maris, don't dwell with what is a fact now. The fact is you're divorced, and for one reason or another, this has happened. Whatever reason, you shouldn't give a damn anymore. What you should give a damn is full focus on being the best father you can be. Never leave those kids alone. Always make sure you have their best interest in mind. Make good money and provide for the kids, and make sure they know that there's a father there, and use your legal authorities, legal rights to have joint custody. Do not allow her to have full custody. You need to be with your kids. The kids need to see you, and they also need to see their mother. So create this, preferably through a cordial interaction and discussion with your wife. Cooperate together to create this wonderful atmosphere for the kids, and at the same time bring about an atmosphere where each one of you can have your personal lives, but without affecting the children negatively. Discuss this with your wife, and if she doesn't understand or comply with the merits of it, then you may want to simply monitor and observe, and through legal means make sure you have joint custody, so you can have your exclusive time with the kids and dedicate your time to them. And your motivation now are the kids. That's what your role is. Abandon your role as a husband and embrace and cherish your role as a top-notch father. Try to communicate with your ex cordially, kindly. Advise her, explore with her, and say, I don't really care about your personal life, but what I do care about is something that we both love, and those are the kids. So let's find out what's best for the kids rather than what's best for you. And what's best for you is not the illusory concept of replacing me, and what's best for me is not the illusory concept of replacing you with another woman. It's just not the right thing for the kids. So let's make sure that you can have your personal life, I can have my personal life, but we will not let it interfere with the atmosphere that is healthy for the kids to grow, while they would be sure that there is a mother, there is a father, and there is only one mother, and there is only one father. If she doesn't understand that, then you may argue that in court. Otherwise, don't simply give up just because she wants it that way. All right. And Rob says, male 27, don't do it. Don't give her the power. There we go. Yeah. Talking to Mary. Okay. And Dia Radaide. That's the first time I see this screen name. This is the first time you're here. Dia. Am I pronouncing your name right? Gia or Dia? Radaide. Dia Radaide. Says, love your stuff. Thank you. Delighted to hear that. Came here from your son Star Wars Theory. He's the best. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Star Wars Theory is my favorite channel on YouTube as well. And Dia says, are you proud of your son? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? He's my best friend. We grew up together. You know, there is no day passes by that I don't remember all the wonderful experiences in sports and martial arts and doing homework and just chatting and hanging out. Yes, I'm proud of him. Yes, not because of the channel, because of who he is. Who he is. And Dia says, what did your son do before YouTube? Ask him. Ask him. You're his friend. You're his one of his subscribers. Ask him. He's open for conversation. He will answer you. And here, ask me anything you want. I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts with you. I guess like anybody else, university, work, here and there, and so on. But ask him. Mario says, SA, South Africa. Yes, correct, correct. Juanpa says, thanks, Mehran. That was the best advice for interviews. Oh, cool. All right. Well, I've done enough of it in my lifetime, so I should know a thing or two about interviews. Juanpa says, Mehran, do you think love is forever? Depends. What kind of love? Love for your children? Yes. Love for your spouse? Depends if they love you back. Depends on the frequency of the connection, of the frequency that both your energies are tuned in. If you can connect and bond on consciousness level, if you can genuinely separate your urges for novelty and new things versus your deep connection with your spouse based on mutual goals, mutual tasks and projects you want to accomplish in this life, mutual respect and love, mutual cooperation, mutual positive intentions for what you want to build, and mutual goal and design for what it is that you want to build, and respect for each other's individuality as much as possible without jeopardizing the responsibility you each have toward each other first and toward the children, rather than being loyal to some cause of some kind that would make you feel, oh, I'm making a difference, so I let that cause to be before my responsibility toward my own family, toward my own spouse, and toward what brings a healthy mind and healthy body to our family first, rather than I want to be identified with someone who had something to do with certain cause. Well, that's wishful thinking, because people who would benefit from your support for whatever cause that is are neither going to be here nor there when there is a difficulty in your life and your family, because you neglected on respect for what it is your responsibility limits to yourself, your spouse, and your children, and how they would be raised and how they would be affected first and foremost as the result of your attention to them first, or to some political idea or some whatever else. All right, let's go on to this is or this only happens on Disney movies. Yeah. It can happen in real life too, depending on the priorities you give to yourselves, to each other, and to your family, and what are the prerequisites and the important ingredients to create a healthy atmosphere and a healthy mind and healthy body according to what this family is all about. In other words, let's say if the children or if the family feels healthy by eating eggs, as simple as that, I'm just trying to make a point across, and you say, and it's detrimental for their health that they need eggs to feel healthy, both mentally and physically, and you say, well, no, these eggs could be making the hens uncomfortable, so therefore I'm going to deny my family from the freedom of having these eggs. I'm not trying to say to be inhuman to animals. No, I'm just trying to come up with an example, like something that you think is important as a political cause for you that it actually affects the mental health and physical health of your children, but you put that political opinion first. That's a mistake. All right. Marius says, says, thank you, Mehran. We already have a court order 50-50. Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate yours. Good. Stick with that. You have all the time to be a wonderful father when the kids are with you 50-50. And you better find a way to spend that time and simply be there for them. Attend all the possible events at their schools, sporting activities. Be there when they want to train. Train with them. These are what you need to do to keep some bloke who's interested in your wife, ex-wife, to have a chance to pretend that he really cares. He cannot. There is no way in hell that when a father is a good father and around, any other person can replace the father by genuinely being concerned about the kids. And maybe you want to be as a responsible adult, put his 2 bit in there, but not as a father, not as a real father feels. Maybe he wants to pretend that he does so he can get some kudos from the woman who's involved there, but not genuinely from his heart. Would he take his kidneys and give to the kids if it's needed? No. Maybe some cases, but I'm talking general cases. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're there for your kids, I don't care what kind of person your wife introduces them to the kids, there would be no place for them in the minds of the kids to replace an epsilon of their father. So you have all the credentials and all the ways on your side. The other guy has to just try to prove himself, and is going to be nothing but not even comparable if you are the father that I can see you are. Dia says, yeah, you're saying it right. Okay, good. Okay, Dia. Good to see you, and thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Well, guys, it's 1 hour and 3 minutes. And oh, we have one question here. I'm sorry if I've neglected you guys on Facebook. I apologize. I've been looking this direction. And Floyd says, thank you for all your help, Mehran. You're quite welcome, Floyd. I am delighted that you're here. I thank you for your support of being here. Randy says, nothing. He says, watching. And Randy says, Mehran, you're the man. Well, thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. And if I was the man, I would have 2,000, in my live stream. You know how many I have? 16. That doesn't mean I'm the man. I'm the illusory man. But good news is that we are making headways. My viewership has gone up 21%, and watch time has gone up 26%. And of course, subscribers are up 85%. Maybe some changes I've done, I don't know, on the tags. I've been working on changing the tags. 450 of them are having new tags, and I'm learning new things here and there. But I need your support, guys. I need you guys to put me on the map, put this channel on the map, talk to the friends that you have in your local media, newspaper, radio, television. If they want to do an interview with me, by all means, share the videos you like on your social media, like the videos you watch, make a comment on the videos. All will help, and I certainly appreciate it. And Bettina Flumacher. Have I butchered your name, Bettina? I hope I pronounced it close. Flumacher. Bettina says, "Hi Mehran, thank you for your help through a breakup. I'm completely recovered and very..." Let me just get this opened up here. "And very thankful for your intelligent thoughts." Oh my goodness, that makes up my day. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. I'm delighted that the channel has been helpful to you and that I had a small part in your moving forward and in the solution to your challenge that you were facing. And we have Lamp Bright, says 37 male, Thailand. Says, "Mehran, is it ever a good idea to reach out to an ex?" No. No. And no. Did I say no? I meant no. So, having said that, we move to Rob. Rob says, "Mehran, I had a moment today where I felt very upset. I cried like a madman. 3 weeks since breakup. Is it normal?" It's normal. It's very normal. And that's good that you cried. You get it out. Real men do cry, contrary to what you guys have heard here and there. Warriors cry too. There are different reasons. We are human beings. We have emotions. And then a fear of not having the pleasure that we always had, because we're all living for pleasure. We do things for pain and pleasure. We want pleasure. And that's why we think pleasure is everything, which is not. Don't be fooled by it. It's a motivation. It's something you desire, something you seek, but it is not entirety of your life. It is only one fragment of it. But because it makes us feel so good, we think pleasure is everything. And when we don't have it, we think we have nothing. That's the mistake. We have everything when we don't have pleasure, and we have everything when we do have pleasure. Sometimes we lose everything when we have certain pleasure. And those are excessive alcohol and drugs and all these substances that are not good for health and for natural balance in life. But often, when you don't have certain pleasures that are not good for you, always, then you have everything. You have yourself, you have your self-respect, you have your balance, you have your focus, you have everything. So pleasures make you feel good, but not everything that makes you feel good is good for you. Remember that. You're the one who chooses what pleasure to pursue, what to abandon. That is why we are called human beings. We have brains. Not that we just follow our instinct and what is pleasurable, then that's what we should seek. No, not at all. And in such cases as breakups, when a woman leaves you, I don't care how much pleasure you had having intimacy or in that relationship or companionship or sex, I don't care. What I care is about your balance. And when someone leaves you, it is not balanced to follow her, want her constantly more than before, just because you've been denied of something that was giving you pleasure in one way, one form or another. And you should focus on the fact that when someone leaves you, that is not the same person who you knew in the past and were lovey-dovey that left you. That person is still there in your memory, intact. The one who left you is a person that is changed from what she used to be, how she used to think, how she used to behave, how she used to treat you, how she used to have a relationship with you, to a new person, which that new person, if was introduced to you way back instead of your actual girlfriend, you would not have approved. You would not have started a relationship with. This girl who has broken up with you is a different person now. You should not pursue her because the one who has left you is not the same person as you used to know. And your pain is because you think the person who's left you is the same person who used to love you. No, the one who loved you in your memory is still intact. But we dynamically change, our consciousness change, and what our consciousness changes, that means we change. And we are represented by our consciousness. And this person who broke up with you has a different consciousness now. And this different consciousness is not compatible with you. You wouldn't have even accepted her if she would have presented herself with this consciousness that she has now that is breaking up with you then when you guys met. So look at her as she is today in her actuality, not as if she is the same person and is still now breaking up with you. And because she is a different person and looking at her actuality in her actuality, you don't approve of her. You disqualify her. You disqualify her. I don't care how much pleasure you remember you had with that physical body of hers, because her actuality as a persona is not the same as that person. She looks the same in physical body, but that's all you get, a physical pleasure, no longer a connection pleasure. And you build relationship with the consciousness, with the connection, not the physical pleasure. So therefore, abandon that. Let her go. She's not qualified for you. Having said that, let's go to Stian, 27-year-old male from Norway. Hello, Stian. I hope you're doing well, Mehran. Have a good weekend. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Lamp Bright says, Mehran, you said the girl has changed to a different girl. Will she ever be the original girl again and forgive the past? No. I don't know what the story is between you guys. I need more detail. Perhaps you make an appointment on Skype with me and then I will know where this question actually stemmed from. Otherwise, if she has changed and gone to someone else and so on and so forth, you don't want that girl anyhow. But if you're talking about some things that you can fix because of a misunderstanding between you two, well, that's another story which I'm not privy to. Nikki says, hi, Mehran, and a couple of hearts there. Thank you very much, Nikki, and for the love and attention. Guys, if there is no question, I would like to excuse myself within the next 5 or 6 minutes. Looks like we are over the time that we allotted, 1 hour and 12 minutes. I try to keep it to 1 hour. And also I have other appointments this afternoon that I need to prepare for. And Jason says, I have a question. Okay, shoot, Jason. I will wait for you. I'll have a sip of tea. And that will be our last question. Jason says, I can't stop thinking about my ex. It's not that you can't. You can. You just don't want to. We broke up 2 months ago. I can't stop watching her social media. Jason, is it the first time you're here? We have a protocol. I need to know your gender, your age, and where you're tuning in from. And her age and where, you know, if you guys are long distance relationship or in the same town and all that. Lamp Bright says, sorry, Mehran, my battery died. Yeah, no problem. I have given the answer, and it's elaborate answer, so I can't repeat it. I have answered it, Lamp. It was an elaborate answer. I can't repeat it. Even if I wanted to, I don't know what I said. But I will upload it, and within an hour, you should have it uploaded. And then you can check it out. And Jason says, male 23, Netherlands. And Jason says, she's 24, live 30 minutes from me. Oh, live 30 minutes from me. And Jason says, we had a 1-year relationship. Yeah. You're 23 years old. You would be thinking about a tree if you had slept with it. The pleasure you received, you're not going to forget it so easily until you find another girlfriend Because as a heterosexual male, in our genes, we are programmed to love women, want sex and intimacy with a woman. And we think about sex all day long, many different times during the day, depending how busy and focused we are on other things. And every time that you think of sex, which is naturally comes to your mind, by default, you will be focused and remember the most recent serious girlfriend you had with emotions. Not a one night stand. You will default back to the one that was your real girlfriend with emotions, the most recent one. And then because of that default, you think that's the one you're missing. Not because you think of her, because that's the way you think. When you think of sex all day long, by default, you will think of the most recent girlfriend. That is not a witness or reason to think that, oh, she's the right one. No, she's the one that is most recent. That's why it comes to your mind. Now, for other information about why you think about your ex, well, just go to my site, to my channel, and put in missing the ex. And I'll soon have a playlist, or I include all the new ones that I uploaded that has to do with why you missed the ex, because I recently had two wonderfully accepted videos, in relation to the number of viewers of my other videos in the first 24 hours. And I will include that in the playlist of why you miss your girlfriend. But there are a ton of those videos on my channel, which you can watch them and figure out why and how you can move on, and why is it that you miss her. It's not because she's the right girl for you. Obviously, any girl that breaks up with you is definitely disqualified as not the right girl. That's the evidence to that. But you, because you remember her and you miss her because of the intimacy and the pleasure and all that I've discussed in all the videos, you think she's the right one because you think of her. No. And in all those videos, I've discussed why is it that you think of her, why is it that you feel you miss, why is it that you think she was the one, and all that. And then it will become clear to you, and then you will be perfectly confident that she's not the last one, she's not the only one, and you don't have to think that she's the right one. How could someone who has left you be the right one? Number one, logic. And of course, watch the video that says number one reason why you should never get back with your ex. All right, I think we've done what we could have done at this time. And Jason says, and I live together in the same house. Yeah, I know, it's very amazing feelings. At age 23, you live with a woman in in the same house, and the woman is older, 1 year older. And to you, at age 23, dating a 24-year-old woman, you think, oh, therefore I'm more mature because an older woman is with me. That means I'm as mature as a 24-year-old. So to you, it's a credit. But within few years, you would have evolved from the consciousness that you have now, and she would have evolved from the consciousness that she has now. And at that time, you would have a different expectation and standards from a woman that you seek to be in a relationship with. And right now, at this age, you hardly know who you are, let alone know what kind of woman you actually want. And the reason you're with her is because that was available, and that's amazing, feeling to have intimacy with a woman at this age or at any age. But pleasure is the biggest reason for you to want to have a relationship with this woman, and not because you really knew her from top to bottom and have spent years to learn about each other's consciousness and bond on conscious level and then feel that you really love her. Because you cannot love a woman unless you have gotten to know each other's consciousness, and that takes time. What you feel as love is lust, and that's normal at your age or any age. So at this time, be sure that in a few years, you would have not even wanted this woman to be your girlfriend, because you would have evolved to a different consciousness, and you would have expected different types of girl. Your expectations and standards would have changed. And by that time, you would have known a little bit about yourself, which would then help you to know what kind of girl actually you want. So, for now, be cool with it. It's all good. It's an experience you should have had at this age, but it's not supposed to be the one and only that you're going to choose for the rest of your life at age 23. What the hell do you know about woman and relationship at this age to think that this was the right one for me for the rest of my life? You don't even know how far you're going to develop and how changes going to come to you in your consciousness, let alone think that this woman, for who she is, what she is going to be forever. How could it be forever when you are going to be evolved into something else within the next few years, at least, let alone the rest of your life? So rest assured, this was a good experience, but that's what its duration was. And for that, appreciate it, enjoy it, but don't expect it to last forever, because when you try to turn a temporary to permanent, that's when the suffering starts. And turning a temporary at age 23, when you hardly know yourself, but think that this woman at age 23 that you're in a relationship with is the one forever, is the wrong way of thinking anyhow, and you're turning that temporary to permanent, which is a wrong plan anyhow, and it's the reason for your suffering. So enjoy it for what it was, take it as an experience, and get ready for bigger and better things yet to come for you and for the relationships that you're going to be witnessing and participating and enjoying and experiencing. All right. Now, having said all that, we're done with all the questions today. Yes, I will upload it right away. Before I leave my home, I will, to my appointment, I will upload it, and then you should have it, I think, within the next hour max. It takes time to process it, I guess. All right, guys, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a few things with you. Don't forget, this channel has over 1,500 videos that can help you with all the things that you might have in your mind as far as your relationships are concerned, or breakup, or things to do with your psyche, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego. And I look forward for you guys to benefit from all the support that is free on the channel, including the live talks. And if you want further support, go to my site, mind@seekstruth.com, see what's there, make an appointment on Skype. We'll explore what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. I look forward to talk to you again, perhaps tonight. If not, hopefully tomorrow. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.